Hey everyone, welcome to the video. In this video I'm discussing where we are in SEO these days and what's working, and more importantly why it's working. I drag on for a little bit, but it'll be worth your time, I guarantee it. There's no products or anything, it's just a discussion about SEO and what's working and why it works. So let's jump into the video. So WTF is Zeitgeist SEO. So the reason I'm making this video is because, as you know, I've been doing this since 1995, and I've just been involved in a project that's been a hell of a lot of fun. Ranking in competitive niches and doing it with relative ease. Mainly using our Twitter software, which is awesome. But one of the ideas that came to me is, and I've known this for a long time, is that, like for example, of course my dog starts barking, but here we've got a great result. That niche, high paying niche, very, very high. And we come down to here and we see the results of what we're doing. So if you go to there, actually we don't need to, I've done it up here. So the reason that ranks so well in a competitive niche is because it's hosted on this directory. This directory has an incredible amount of power in Google, as we all know, and this is why. When you do this, you get that events directory is referred to over 3 billion times in Google. So what that means is, what I know in my work with SEO is, if I can get this to happen, first of all, to get that up the top is not that difficult. It's about supplying links to this, and then over time that will rise based on this. And all I've got to do is send a few more links and it will get up there. There's a term I'm looking for. Let me just show you another couple of examples. So I'll start off with this term. Pretty easy. So Twitter moments, but also I've got links in these moments to the site that we're promoting. And if you do this, boom, that there is the site we're linking to. There is no reference to New York on that page at all. That's purely from the Twitter links. And then here we've got the link that bumped this into there, which is extremely cool. So what was the other one? Florida. So that's the Twitter moments down here. What about okay, so we've bumped the main site I'm promoting, this one here, to number 1 on page 1 of Google for this term, which is awesome, and purely through, and there is one of the Twitter moments that helped bump that up. So what I did to achieve that was, first of all, I ran the tweets. I'll show you what that looks like. So we've done some massive improvements on this software. So that's why I'm testing it with one of our existing customers who's been with us for 10 years, and he's an awesome dude. So he bought a lifetime license of Evo, and I said, hey, do you want me to tell you about one other trick? And he goes, yeah. So I said, give me some keyword phrases and blah blah blah, and then I created this. So this is a Twitter software with spin tax in the title, spin tax in the body. That's the site that we are ranking, and that is the site. This site up until recently was making an extraordinary amount of money every month until they got a new SEO guy on board, and then it went from an extraordinary amount per month down to 10% of that amount through what they lost. So anyway, we're working on the Twitter software. I wanted to show him how powerful it is. Like, just mainly this. Like, it's not rocket science. Anything you get ranked here, and any moments that you can put a moment right there, and that directory's got over 3 billion links or references to it, more specifically. So, it's not that hard. So you create something like this. No, that's not it. You create something like this. Where is it? Oh, there's the site number one. There you go. Now you've got specific keywords in the title of that moment. Then you've got the body of the moment. And how's it not going to work? Obviously it's going to work. So where does this lead to? Well, hang on, before I go to that, what was another one? So how about we just go by? Look, there. That is the result of this. This is ranking number 2. The site that's linked inside this moment is bumped up to number 1. And you can do the same with all of them. So it's working really good. So how does this relate to Zeitgeist SEO? I've been thinking a lot. I've been working on this project for about a week. Why is it a week? Because it's just been really good fun, and I like testing what we do here that helps other people out. So their stats are going through the roof, which is awesome. What we are doing as search engine optimization experts is this. So the zeitgeist is what generally the main people in the West have the idea of how the world works. Like, people think of climate change. In the zeitgeist, there's this form of climate change. There's a different form of climate change. The zeitgeist is, what does it say here? The defining spirit or mood of a particular period of history as shown by the ideas and beliefs of the time. And that's exactly what the Google algorithm is. It collects data of this. So this is what's in the index, 4.2 billion results, and they've got to manage that data in a certain way. And it's like our zeitgeist. So if you want to get a specific result in the Google search engine, you need to influence that search engine algorithm. Look, I know that's not groundbreaking news, but I'm kind of getting lost in what I'm saying here. But one of the main things I know is if I can get this to happen for a search term using a Twitter moment, I know give it 2 to 4 weeks, I can achieve this. So what do you call it when it's an indicator? It's a, I can't remember what it's bloody called. There's a specific term for it. Oh God, I had it before. Is it catalyst? No, it's not catalyst. Well, what we've got here is the perfect scenario. You've got number 1, No, sorry, it's actually number 2. Number 2 here and number 3. You want, generally what happens is, you get the Twitter listing first because it's hosted on the events directory on twitter.com, so it's very easy to get that to rank. But over time, what you want is exactly what we see here, is the site you're promoting to be above the Twitter moment. And what you've achieved compared to before you started is you've taken these 2 spots and pushed your competitors on 2 spots of your competitors onto the second page. Now, obviously, if I had more time and if I was getting paid for this, I would do exactly the same thing. I know that if I can get that Twitter moment to rank there, I can get a Google site to rank there, obviously a YouTube video to rank there as well. And what that achieves is it pushes the competitors further down onto second page, and your conversion from someone typing this term into Google into clicking onto one of your links, obviously that's the best link that goes directly to the sale. This one here, takes you to the site as well. It's not as good as this listing, but it's pretty bloody good, especially considering how fast I can get it in there and how much it costs for me to do that, which is virtually nothing. So getting back to the zeitgeist, SEO, and influencing the search engine algorithm, I see sites, let's just take a Blogger blog for example. First of all, a Blogger blog is hosted on is a Google entity, so it automatically comes with trust and credibility. So that's one data point, and if you get a link from that data point to, say, this site for example, the Google algorithm understands it's a link, obviously, like that's the most basic form, but that site that provides the link to this site here is a data point. The link just tells it there's a connection between this site and the Blogger blog. So what you want to do is put as much content about what you want to rank here in that data point, or that Blogger blog, or that Google site, or that YouTube video. Each of those have got different benefits over the other, so that's why we do all of them. But what you're doing is creating a little circle of a data point that's focused on the term you want this site to rank for, which in this instance is that. So that's what we've done with Twitter. With this here, all the content is based around this term here. So we have one data point. Googlebot analyzes that content, gets an idea in its mind about what it is, and then transfers what it thinks that is via a link to this site here. So in this instance, this little data point here, the main thing is that term here. That's the main thing I'm telling Googlebot via a link about this site. In all of the content that I create, whether that be Google site, Blogger blog, YouTube video, that's the main concurrent theme, RAD 140. But then, so, like if you do, okay, get rid of that, get rid of that, 150 million competing terms, and we're not there. But here's the thing, we can get there by teaching it. First of all, it's easy to get these locations which bring money straight away. Like, that's a no-brainer. And we've proved that through their analytics reflecting that. So the idea is, getting back to here, This is the main content that we're pushing in all of the little data points that we send out to teach the Google algorithm what this site is about. This site is about via the data we provide in other entities that are linking to this one. So over time, like the strategy is this. Okay, so where is it? List of large cities in USA. We'll go here. So that's how many people live in the cities. So you want to rank, generally speaking, for the most popular cities in the country. And because it's so easy, you do as many as you can. And what you are achieving by doing that, like the goal is this. That is the absolute goal, which is achievable over time, because we've got to influence, like the zeitgeist or the search engine algorithm zeitgeist about this is what this site is about, wherever it is. There it is. In fact, it's number 1 now. So we've got to educate the zeitgeist in the Google algorithm that this site is purely about that. And we do that by doing more and more promotions of the local areas. Well, they're not local, Texas isn't local, of the other big cities. Now it takes time to influence that algorithm that this is what's happening. And so you were telling the algorithm via creating data points all around the world on other trusted entities about this is what this product is, or not this product, this site is. So each time you get it ranking for one of these places, you are telling the search engine algorithm that this data point is linking to this site, and this data point is around the main niche and this location. So it's two things: the niche content and location content. When you do go for another location, it's the same niche content but a different location. So we're educating the algorithm into understanding what this site is about. So what we've got to do is basically do it more than what this guy did and this guy. And we can do that because we've got the tools. Like, we've got automated tools for videos, Google Sites, bloggers, Google Drive, Sheets, Docs. They are all different data points to tell the search engine algorithm what our site is about. And it's just time, and it's technique. Obviously, you don't want to do that too fast, because anything that happens too fast in a search engine algorithm is going to trip a filter. So that's why I recommend to people, and I have done for years, is to focus on the longer tail terms that bring in traffic immediately, and just go wide as possible. Every new location is going to bring in new customers. At the same time, we're training the algorithm about the niche, and the more data points out there based on this niche, there's one here, everywhere, we are training the algorithm to understand that this site here is all about this niche and the content that we're providing. So it's important to get great content. That's why I loved Mike's page rewriter so much. It just gives me as much content about this, which I did, as much as I wanted, and then to rewrite it as original, perfect. So I recommend everyone get that to use with our software, because we're creating little data centers of content. The more content you have about this niche, as I was saying, we've done a massive upgrade to our Twitter software to achieve results like this. And okay, so another location. So I've only been doing it on 4 or 5 locations, because this isn't my project. I'm just doing it because it's fun, and when you get massive results like this, it's fun, and particularly in the lead up to a software relaunch that we've improved dramatically, so it's cool. But I've just been doing it. Initially, I offered to do it just to show him how powerful it is, which we did. I think it was within 1 or 2 hours. And then the next day I got the stats back, the analytics back, to show how well it worked. Oh, great, so let's keep playing. And I'm showing him like this. So he bought software, obviously, and I'll show him the exact project and images. So it's just this textual content and images. So you can see Twitter Moments 1 and 2, nearly 20 million competing. And we've got this image here, so that's good, that's ranked honor, and it's here. So number 4, number 7, awesome. You can see it goes to Twitter. One thing I learned is these tweets and moments sometimes index immediately, other times they don't. And if you don't get a result in, is there an example? I can't remember if I did here or not. Oh yeah, I did. So there's 2 Twitter moments there. And 1 image there, so that's cool. His site is not listed there, but it will do over time, because we're training the algorithm about what that site is. Another thing I'd like to say to people who are into SEO, you've got to do this manually, man. Like, it's cool to have automated ranking tools, which I use, but I don't use them very frequently, because I like to see exactly what's in there. And you don't see that by just looking at numbers on basically a spreadsheet. And the one thing I've learnt in this niche is, where is it? I'll try. I'll just try that. This site here keeps popping up everywhere I'm looking. So if this was my project, if it was my long-term focus, I would just reverse engineer whatever it is they're doing. It's not hard to figure out. And you'll find great other data points that are linking to this site to tell the search engine algorithm that this site is all about RAD 140. So I'll find out where those existing data sets are and get a link from a great data set about that niche back to my site. And over time, look, this is a high-end product, and there's a lot of money in it, so it's worth spending the time to figure that out, and then just do it better than what they're doing. It's not hard. So this is my text file on this project, keywords that I want to rank in, and they start off with the most difficult, the easiest term to rank for, the longer term phrase. Like, put that in there. Obviously it's going to number one, number two, too easy, and then that's going to bring traffic. Like, sure, that's not a massive search for term, but that has already brought traffic. Then you get rid of that. Boom, number one. So, and where's the Twitter? And here's Twitter down here. So number one and number three are from the work I did doing exactly this. Very, very cool. Getting back to here, where is it? So you start there, and I think all up he ended up giving me 5 different cities to target, so I swapped these out. This is the content for the description in Twitter. These are the links that were created. And then what I did with those links to give them even more juice is that we're creating a new Google Indexer massive software. So we've had our Google Site Indexer for a couple of years, and right now the software we created over 2 years ago is working at about 30%, maybe 20-30%. So Google's done a lot of changes. Google Sites aren't the preferred method any longer. We found a new entity that works really well, and I've gone incredibly hardcore because I know there's a massive need in the market for an indexer that actually works. So not only are we indexing, we will be providing for each entry hundreds of powerful backlinks. So what we've got here is the link, and when you put the link with these terms inside these brackets, that will become the anchor text for that link on the sites that we're creating. So I did that a few times. So the development of this indexer, we're about probably 50% there, and we're getting amazing results with it already. By the way, if you've got the Twitter software, do exactly what I'm doing here, but put these links in any of my other softwares, like Evo in particular. If you put these links inside the description at the bottom of the description in Evo, you'll get exactly the same results. And it works, obviously. What's this here? This is the content that I grabbed from Mike's, what's it called, page rewriter. This is all original content, and then I spun it. And where did I put that? I can't even remember. I think I did one Evo project and used this content, but spun, and this Mintax isn't there. But that's original content from Mike's rewriter and then spun. No, that's not true. No, in the indexer, I put this content in the indexer, spun, so that's right. Creating that little data set of content, of this content here, which is all based around this term, on the indexer pointing to the Twitter links. So that helped Twitter rank for those specific terms and that niche. In all fairness, they ranked before I did that, but providing those links will consolidate those listings because there is enough energy in the search engine algorithm zeitgeist to understand that there's more data coming in about this niche to this link and to this link. So it's keeping it relevant. Relevant in time, not relevant in terms of what the content is. We've got content talking about this niche and relevant to time, which is now. So those links drop over a couple of months, we can just say, hey, this content is still relevant. This site is still relevant. By this link, we've got new content coming in over here. It's pointing to this site. So this site must be still relevant. So we just top it up every once in a while. So, one thing I can say, if you're not having fun with SEO, you're definitely doing something wrong. can't believe it's bloody Christmas already. Kids off school. But I've got so much new content to release. Content in terms of software. End of the year is the worst time, but anyway. The indexer, that's probably, I'll have that completed in about a month. We've been working on it for 3 months now. There's the front end, which is the software itself, and then there's the back end that it works with, which is just massive, and any content you put in this software gets distributed throughout this massive network. Indexing will be a no-brainer, but it's not just an indexer, it will provide incredibly powerful backlinks to do similar to what we're doing here. I think that's about it for now. Keep an eye on the new software coming out, guys. Twitter is rocking it, as you can see. Boom, nice. So, the beauty is this bloody software. That's it. It will go off and do it. All you need is Twitter accounts. They're incredibly cheap. Just search for in Google, buy online Twitter accounts, and only purchase ones with recovery emails. So it's just posted the tweet. Now it will go and create a Twitter moment. Here's where it gets interesting. I'm going to try and do something different here, but it needs a bit of testing to prove whether we can do it or not, and if I can achieve what I want to achieve, which we probably won't be able to be honest, it will be kind of groundbreaking. This software as it is already bloody groundbreaking. The important thing to know is with this software, I just loaded one Twitter account for this project, but I can load up as many as I like, and once it finishes this one, it will then log in again with the next account and continue going, which is why you get, so with this project here, I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 accounts. So all the work you see, all the results you see in Google are from using only 6 Twitter accounts. Less is more in SEO, just being efficient. The reason I bring that up, so this is what was just created. I've got too many browsers. This is one we just created. One minute ago. So that's how it works. What was I saying? Less is more, of course. What I'm a real advocate of is protecting your accounts. If you need Google accounts, buy more than what you need and use them less frequently, because you want them to last forever. Once you put that content up there, it's supplying links, it's training the search engine algorithm about what this site is over here, you want that to last. So be respectful of your Google and Twitter accounts. I don't know. In support we see it all the time, people just going so hard. They think the harder you go, the faster you're going to rank and the faster you're going to make money. If you want to go hard, get a lot of licenses of our softwares and go over multiple IP addresses, then you can go hard that way. But you've got to protect your Google accounts because you want them to last for a long time. If you put all this work into a Google account and you spam the shit out of it and it gets turned off, you just lost hundreds or thousands of backlinks that you've been working on for years. So you don't want to do that. Anyway, keep an eye out for our new Twitter software that's coming out soon, and our new Google Indexer, which is going to be revolutionary. If you've already got Evo, make sure you get Twitter and then put the links as I showed you. Where are they? Well, links like these at the bottom of the description to have that second data point telling the Google search algorithm what these links are about, which confirms it in their eyes, and then you've got this data set here, the Twitter ones, even confirming more, pointing to your site. Boom. Okay. So I just finished editing that video you've just watched, and I know I was all over the place, and I apologise for the bad audio. I have no idea why that happened, but I'd just like to start a conversation about SEO. So below this video, if you have any comments about the video, please drop them below. If you've got any questions about SEO in general, pop them below the video, and I'll give as much time as I can to those answers. The more engagement this video gets, obviously, the more people will get to see it, so it'll be helping your friends by asking specific questions about anything related to the content I just produced. We'll go from there, and we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching the video, guys, and I'll see you next week or the week after with a new video and some amazing new software. See ya.